Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to Goals Galore and welcome to my predictions for the Championship Match Week 4. Of course, the final round of fixtures before the international break, the first of the season of course. If you've gone to enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. And also let me know all 12 of your game predictions in the comment section down below. Right then, let's begin for the Championship Match Week 4 predictions. Let's go. Let's begin with the Friday night game for Luton Town versus QPR. Now, this one, of course, was a game midweek in the EFL Cup where QPR, of course, at Loftus Road drew 1-1 with Luton and won on penalties, of course, 4-1. In the end, of course, a very close game, and I think this one will be as well, this time at Kenilworth Road. Both of these sides yet to win a league game in the Championship this season. I feel like something will have to give in this one. Luton, of course, just lost 1-0 away at Preston, and QPR couldn't quite break down 9 men Plymouth for the final few stages of that one. Very unlucky there. In this one, close game, but I've gone Luton to get their first win, 2-1. I feel like the squad is crazy, and surely they're going to start picking up some points sooner rather than later with that squad. On to the Saturday games, and we start with a Lancashire derby for Burnley versus Blackburn. Now, this is interesting because Burnley, of course, started the season strong. However, last week lost to Sunderland away, and the squad is completely different now. They've sold quite a lot of players, a few incomings, but not as many as the amount of outgoings at the moment. They've signed the likes of Joe Worrell, of course, which will be a great signing, but not many others. Of course, the likes of Odobert leaving, Koleosho apparently wants to leave, so yeah, it's all mixed feelings at Burnley at the moment in terms of how the morale in the squad is. As for Blackburn, start the season undefeated, of course, and this is a really good time, not just to score against Burnley, which they haven't done in quite a long time, but maybe even get a result away at Turf Moor in this one, of course. In this one, though, I can't really look past Burnley with the squad, the side, the record they have against Blackburn. I'll say 2-1 Burnley, but Blackburn is a brilliant chance to at least score against Burnley this weekend. Off to Cardiff versus Middlesbrough next, and of course both sides drew last time out. However, in the midweek cup game for Middlesbrough, they lost 5-0 to Stoke. They're leaking quite a lot of goals at the moment, but also in that game couldn't finish for anything, couldn't pay them to finish. In this one, I think Borough win 3-1. Moving on, we go to Coventry versus Norwich. Now, of course, Norwich still without a win this season. However, they did get a good point against Sheffield United last time out. As for Coventry, of course, inconsistent start to the season, but they're one win, one draw, one defeat, of course. The draw coming in the last game against Bristol City, of course, in a 1-1 game there. In this one, I'm going to go for the same result. Neither side is giving me anything to really back them. Coventry haven't got a great record of beating Norwich, but they have got a few draws in the last, however many games it is, I think it's the last 15. It's 9 wins for Norwich, and the rest are made up with draws. So I'll go for a draw in this one, but you probably would be backing Norwich if there was to be a winner. Off to Pride Park for Derby versus Bristol City, and this is a really tricky game to predict because out of all the games, this is one I put money on there being both sides scoring in this game. Derby, of course, last time at home, beating Middlesbrough. They've got a really good home record stretching back into the back end of last season, of course. As for Bristol City, though, they've started the season really, really well, really strong, really impressive, and still unbeaten this season. But I do feel like something has to give in this game. I can see the game going either way, maybe even a draw, but I've gone for Derby. Now, this is sort of a wild prediction, nothing against Bristol City. Been really, really impressed them this season. But Derby at home, I feel like they're just going to do it. 2-1 to Derby, but as I say, Bristol City fans, nothing against you at all. And to be honest, you're the favourites going into it. They expect you to win. I've just put a spanner in the works for this one, though. 2-1 Derby. Off to Leeds, and they host Hull. Leeds getting their first win of the season last time, and against another side undefeated so far this season in Hull, who are draw happy at the moment, 3 from 3, and they've made some interesting signings in the transfer window. Supposed to be getting Carl Rushworth on loan before this game potentially, which is a huge signing for them. I think he's absolutely incredible, probably one of the best goalkeepers in the league last season. And kept Swansea up, there's no doubt about that. In this one, though, got Leeds to win 2-0. Routine for them. Off to the den for Millwall versus Sheffield Wednesday. Now, both sides have been quite underwhelming recently. I think it's fair to say Sheffield Wednesday have been poor after the opening day smashing of Plymouth. And for Millwall, we all had higher expectations of them, but last time getting themselves a point on the board against Hull, it was a very open game, that one, and very even. It could have gone either way. In this one, both sides to score, but Wednesday to win it 2-1 away at the den. Moving on, we go to Oxford against Preston North End. Now, if this was not with Paul Heckingbottom, I would be going all out for an Oxford win here because I really like Oxford at the moment. They're really inspiring to watch, and one of those sides you can develop a soft spot for. In this one, though, Heckingbottom and Preston have been, like a match made in heaven at the moment. Started really strong. In this one, I'd love for Oxford to win. I just think Preston will, though. 2-1 Preston in this one. But Oxford, as I say, they're having a soft spot for me because they've started really well, trying to do things the right way. Everyone's doubted them, including myself, but we always like to see teams surprise everyone, and I really hope Oxford can do that this year, and even in this game as well. But for me, I've gone for the prediction of Oxford 1, Preston 2. Next up, we go to home park for Plymouth versus Stoke, and Stoke, I did not know your game. Wow. Beating Middlesbrough 5-0 in the cup. Of course, Kumas seems to be an incredible signing. He's just a natural finisher on loan from Liverpool for the season. And actually, I think Stoke could be on something this season compared to recent years in the Championship where they finished lower half, mid-table, of course. This season, I genuinely think they could push up to mid-table. Now, for Stoke on recent form, that is incredible. But for Plymouth, of course, in this game, they've got 2 points from the last 2 games. Much better, but they need to start picking up the wins now. They've got Fulshaw and Azaka, of course, suspended for this game now. And I think Stoke win this one quite comfortably as well, 4-1. If Plymouth are going to stay up this season, though, home form's going to be key like it was last season. But for me, Stoke, they've been impressive in the last 2 games in all competitions. So I've got to back them for an emphatic win this weekend. Off to Fratton Park, and it's Portsmouth versus Sunderland, probably one of the best games going on this weekend. Cannot wait for this one to see how it all plays out. Sunderland haven't conceded this season. Portsmouth haven't lost this season, of course. Heartbreaking the 90th minute to concede that penalty away at Middlesbrough. Minutes away from their first win of the season. At the moment, they're just 3 draws from 3. And I think they make it 4 from 4 in this one against Sunderland. And I think Sunderland finally conceded this one. I'm going for 1-1 at Fratton Park. Both sides I really like, and I think they're on something special this season. But something's got to give in this season, in this game, sorry. Either, Sunderland win again and Portsmouth finally lose a game, or maybe Sunderland concede and finally end their 100% record. Something's going to give in this game. And I've gone for the draw in this one, 1-1 at Fratton Park. Yeah, an excellent game, as I say. Off to the Hawthorns for West Brom versus Swansea. Now, this is an interesting one. West Brom started the season really well, actually. Undefeated as well. Swansea, of course, coming off the disappointment of the derby, really. I don't know how we didn't win. Still, everyone just started messing around at 1-0. And it's like we just wanted to create the perfect goal, and almost like we didn't want to score a second goal. Because as soon as we got into the box, I don't know what Ronaldo was doing after the time, just messing around with the ball, just trying to do some crazy skills and completely embarrass the Cardiff defenders. And I don't know how we didn't get a second goal. It's quite frustrating, actually, to think about, because we should be another 3 points better off here. But no, in the end, only a draw. Okay, we take it, we move on. And now it's against West Brom, who a solid side at this level, of course, reaching the playoffs last season. And in this fixture, last season, of course, West Brom won 3-2. I think it was the last 5 games before that, though. Swans had won all of them. So we have got a decent record. In this one, though, I think West Brom can be too strong. Gone West Brom 2, Swans 0. I'd love to be proven wrong in this one, but I just don't see it. I think, it's quite underwhelming. I don't think the confidence will be up for this one. West Brom to win 2-0. And the final game of Match Week 4 to predict before the international break is Sheffield United versus Watford. This is a big, big game. Both sides undefeated so far this season. What a matchup, of course. Sheffield United, of course. Very interesting so far. As for Watford, 100% record, every game that they've won, and surprising a few along the way. Just signed Ogbonna, who I think is a crazy signing for the calibre of player he is at this level, is wild. But that's the Tom Cleverley poll for you. In this one, can't separate the sides. 1-1 at Bramall Lane. I've been impressed with Sheffield United's business, but it's just not clicking at the moment. I think it'll take a little bit longer before they really settle into life in the Championship and then get going. But undoubtedly, one of the most talented squads in the Championship. And they will have a special season, I think. But at the moment, it's still trying to just find their feet and readjust to the Championship. It's 2 draws in a row. I think they make it 3 here. And Watford lose a 100% record. Well then, guys, they were my predictions to Match Week 4 in the Championship. If you did go on to enjoy, smash the like button and subscribe. I'll have predictions for the Premier League and League One out on the shorts page as well. As you're watching this, be sure to check them out. Also, let me know your predictions in the comment section down below and how you think your team will get on this week. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one very soon, guys. Take care, stay safe, see you soon. Goodbye.